Alhamdulillah, I'm
Do you
happy.
feel something is missing?
I'm tired. I'm not
Tired.
gonna lie. It's not about happiness. I'm happy, yes, but I'm tired.
With brands
yeah,
and
tell
sponsors.
me about it.
Tell me about it.
Tell me about it. Because ما بتطلع مني.
Exactly.
إنه أنا شخص سوبر
انت
سوبر
بتحب
عصبي.
تكوني طبيعتك
Exactly.
وهيدا كيف الانجيجمنت عادي.
I mean, you have expectations and goals.
أكيد.
بس إنه do you have to imagine yourself a certain way? I don't think so because you don't wanna تفرس حالك if you don't
أكيد.
reach that imagination. Honestly, I'm so excited we're gonna talk about TeeJays and if you thought I talked about before,
هلا
good luck. Girls tell me that I push them to follow their dream and their career.
ما في شيء احلى بالحياه من انك تساعدي حدا ثاني.
Of course. كان لازم
بس
قريها
عاد
هيدا
كان لازم تقرا
هذا
كان
سؤال
لازم
بحب
اقرا وفكر
نسأله.
لا كبس كثير هاي.
كثير كبس.
إذا بقول لك من بزنس باي لدي اف سي أخذتني 45 دقيقة بتصدق؟
ليك صراحه انا كمان دبي هيلز اخذتني شي ساعه.
ساعة؟
ما مصدق شو عم بيصير بالعجقه بدبي. احمد اجى معي البروديوسر تبعنا اجى معي لفينا يعني صرنا تقريبا حنصير بالشارقه لرجعنا نزلنا. الشيخ زايد مفول والعجقه كتير بعتي العالم كتير عم تجي على دبي اكتر واكتر which is a good thing. بس لازم دبي يشهلوا بالفلاين كارز بركي هون.
بس بتعرف شو الفكرة؟ إنه مش هيدا الشيء اللي بيصدم قد الفكرة اللي بتصدم إنه 75% من العالم بتحضرنا منا سبسكرايب.
يا ريت
فواليد
اعلى
فواليد.
يا حبيباتي please subscribe يعني it would support us a lot, it would mean a lot.
And make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We post every day there.
يلا فانتاستيك. خلينا ما نطول على الجست كتير لأن we have an amazing guest. I love her. So حقرا quick intro لأن احنا عم نعطي كل guest take a very nice introduction because they deserve it. So today we have a dynamic and multi-talented individual who is known for her work as a fashion stylist, public figure and mother. With a keen eye for fashion and unwavering dedication to her craft, she has established herself as a leading name in the industry. Her passion for style is evident in the stunning looks she creates, and her drive to succeed is an inspiration to all who know her. Tamara Farra, ahla wa sahla.
Hi. Wow, what a
Welcome
nice
to High
introduction,
Take.
guys.
Yeah, I mean you deserve it.
عن
ما في
جد,
ولا
I
كلمة
really
غلط
like
فيها.
it. No, excellent. I really like your take on it.
Definitely. How
Thank
are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here with us.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, نحن you know
pleasure.
نحن we speak Arabic English اللي أنت بترتاحي
Yeah.
فيه. Please feel free to express
رح
yourself.
احكي على اللبنانية.
على اللبنانية.
English, French.
نحن يتعطى بنعمل.
There's no other way وهيك تطلع مني.
100%. So تمارا لنبلش بشيء هيك very خفيف. يعني نحن بنعرف كتير من social media.
Yeah.
We see your posts, we see your stories. But who is تمارا فرا اللي منا على السوشيال ميديا اللي ما بتبين كتير على عرفتي behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, the people that usually follow me, they know I'm a very transparent person. So usually you see what you get. And I think that's really nice because even when I meet people in person, they tell me, oh, like, you're the same. I'm like, well, yeah, what am I going to be? You know? And they tell me, like, your sense of humor, whatever you are, is really what we see, which I think is great, you know? And I always try to be as transparent as possible. So I'm not going to say that I don't show the usual day-to-day side because I do. When I'm tired, I just disappear versus, you know, doing anything else. But sometimes I just come out and say, listen, I'm tired. I don't feel like it. And I'm just out, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I do because it's the truth. I'm the type of person that shows up on social media without makeup 70% of the time, no filters, because this is reality, you know? I completely refuse as a person to just, you know, put makeup just to and do my hair and get ready just to take a photo and then come back home, remove everything to be a mother. You know what I mean?
To be honest, you are one of the most authentic public figures out there. لأن يعني حتى بشوف ستوريز تاعولك بتقولي شيء غلط أو حتى بتقطعي أو you got distracted by something else بتكملي.
Yeah.
Continues.
You don't
what's
stop.
the point of repeating
exactly.
it, you know?
You know, because perfection it's
not true.
بطل حلو
It's
العالم.
unrelatable. It's not
Exactly.
real. We all make mistakes. I'm always the kind of person, if you make a mistake, you correct it and show people how to correct that mistake versus hiding your flaws and mistakes. Show them how to correct it. Let's say I'm doing a makeup tutorial. Okay, very simple and you know, basic example. I ruined the mascara, the eyeliner. I could have just removed that story or edited that part out. But the thing is, when a person is applying makeup, they might make that mistake. So how do you fix it without ruining the rest of your face? So I would rather embrace that mistake and fix it on camera.
I totally agreed. لأن
That's just a
لأن
basic
كل
example.
وكل العالم تعمل أغلاط.
Exactly.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
وليد انت you had an amazing opening لانه كنت عم تحكي عن تمارا كيف she appears on social media and how she's like real to the people and the audience. بس تمارا, other than social media, who are you as a person? What are your hobbies? What do you do in your free time? What
يعني
do you want to
بنعرف
share with
نحطي
us?
كتير قصص
Yeah.
بس شو اللي ما بتحطي؟
شو اللي ما بحطه? I don't put my day-to-day basic life with my husband, for example. Every night, almost, we just sit, we chill, we order food, we watch TV. I don't really post that because خلاص, it's my comfort zone with my husband. I don't need to. I don't need to. I don't feel like sharing it. And everyone knows that I do this, you know. This is any person's life midweek, you know, you're exhausted on a Tuesday night. You don't feel like going to a work event, تسير ناس, you know. It's just reality. So I'm just chilling, you know. And that is what I don't post, for example. In terms of hobbies, let's say, when I used to have more time, I had more time to embrace my hobbies such as painting and so on. But now I don't usually have time to embrace any of those hobbies, unfortunately.
We'll get into هلا what you're doing because you are doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
فأكيد حنحكي من كل واحدة منهم.
So based on what I understand, في مثل هيك a fine line by the things you feel like sharing, which you do, and the things that you don't feel like sharing, maybe it's you're enjoying and you're liking it, بس إنه خلاص you feel like it doesn't like have to be on social media.
And I also feel it won't bring anyone anything to know والله قاعدة على الكنبة عم بحضر موفي وطلب delivery أنا
Yeah.
Really, they will not learn anything from it. And I try to make my content educational and relatable. And this is really irrelevant if you want.
أكيد.
And that being said, given that the things are going as they are you happy in life?
Alhamdulillah, I'm
Do you
happy.
feel something is missing?
I'm tired. I'm not going to lie. It's not about happiness. I'm happy, yes. But I'm tired, you know. And I think that's something that people know and they see on social media because I say it. I just wanted a break, and I did that actually. During my Christmas vacation, I spent almost 2 weeks posting maybe one story a day, which is usually not me, but just because I wanted to enjoy my vacation and not feel it was an opportunity to create content, which is usually what happens when I go on vacation. When I travel, it's like, yalla, it's an opportunity to create content, film reels, and do photos and outfits. But no, I don't want that. I want to enjoy my vacation. And that's what I did.
طب تمارا شو اللي عم بيتعبك؟ أكتر شيء عم تقولي you're getting tired.
I'm tired, yeah, because I have 2 jobs, almost 3. And then I have being a mother.
Exactly, that's the
I
third
have my
job.
husband. I have me as a human being and myself. I have to self-care. I have to, I don't know, go to the gym, take care of my sanity, do my nails, do my, whatever it is, the things that I need to do for me, for Tamara, you know?
Yeah.
Not everyone else. I have to take care of a house. إنه الواحد يدور بيت. It's not
Come
easy. Usually, I mean, when you have a family, it's not like when you live alone وعم بتدور بيت. لا. When you have to take care of 4 people living in a house, you need to make sure everything is always there. There's nothing missing in the house. You take care of the groceries, the cooking. I cook every single week for the whole week.
Wow.
Because I cannot disappear and not do that. أو ابني بيموت من الجوع ما بيقدر. So like I really have to do all of this. And then that's besides the last minute issues that always come up. Whatever it is, it can be anything. بس دايما في شيء بيصير.
طب how are you managing your time between كل هول؟
I don't know. You know, it's a very good question. Sometimes people ask me, how do you do it? I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. عن جد.
You know what's interesting? كتير عبالك أعرف what is one thing. أكيد لأنه قبل ما واحد يتجوز يجيب أولاد دايما أهله أو his friends بيقولوا له حياتك حتتغير 1 2 3.
Yeah.
بس قد إيه لما يصير عندك ولد أو لما يصير عندك ولد الحياة بتتغير.
Yeah, it does. And I think, listen, it changes in different ways. First of all, as a person, it gives you much more purpose in life. You feel like أنت بالنهاية عم تشتغل لشو؟ لتعيش شخص تاني. This human is relying completely and solely on you. إذا أنت ما اشتغلت هيدا الشخص ما عنده شيء. So أنت you have a more of a purpose, more of a drive to do what you do on a day to day. Today أنت بتشتغل for your own success. If you're single, you just work so لتروح تظهر whatever it is يعني. So أنت basically بتظهر I don't know لتتعشى لتسهر لتجيب كادويات لتشتري تياب لحالك, whatever it is for yourself.
Having a family is another level.
Exactly. So gives you more purpose, and it also changes in the way of priorities. I think it's important that lama someone becomes a parent, you don't lose yourself as a person or as a couple in general. You know, like me, I'm like past 7 p.m. I'm the same person I've always been. During the day, my head is a bit all over the place, so I can't really focus with you and have a conversation, you know, because I'm just thinking about a million things.
Yeah.
After my son sleeps, I'm Tamara that does what I need to do for me.
Yeah.
And then my friends are like, by 9:30 I go to bed. I'm like, how? They're like, yeah, خلاص, I'm exhausted. I'm like, بس بالعكس أنا بعد ما ابني ينام بسحبها للساعة 12 وحدة لأنه هيدا الوقت اللي عندي إياه. At least not now, but before he used to go to nursery, I was literally with him all day at home.
Of course.
So I didn't have time to do my work, and I would do that after he sleeps.
بلش نهارك بعد ما
100% ببلش نهاري بس ينام أو لما عم بياخد nap. Now, no, I have time during the day لأنه بيروح على المدرسة بس. In the evening, that's usually when I had my time to do what I do and not just sleep because بكون عم ضيع وقتي.
Yeah.
You know?
It's much more challenging, بس أكيد you would prefer to what life was before. مزبوط?
Of course.
Yeah.
I like what it made me. I feel I changed as a person in many ways يعني. So I think that's really
Tamara, definitely I agree with you. And when people see you on social media, okay, they don't think of كل هول القصص اللي أنت عم تقوليهم. عرفتي بيقولوا okay إنه this girl شكلها حياتها perfect. عرفتي إنه they're like she's married, she has a kid, she has a business. ورواء إنه what could be wrong. عرفتي كيف؟ is it perfect؟ مزبوط هالنظرية اللي عالم عندهم إياها.
I think it's going to be cliche to say this, but no one's perfect and no one has a perfect life, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not going to... I mean, alhamdulillah, I'm blessed with a lot of things, you know, and I'm grateful every day for everything that I have. But no, perfect? No, I do have personal issues that I deal with. But no, it's not something that I have to share because ما حدا حيستفيد من مشاكل, you know, whatever it is. It's nothing really big deal. It can be something very stupid or banal يعني. بس إنه and I don't want anyone to ever think that my life is perfect. And I don't, and if that ever comes across my social media, it's wrong. Like if you follow me and think so, it's wrong. You know, and I hope I don't get that much message across يعني.
لا I'm sure it's not يعني definitely مش الكل بيشوف.
Especially what you mentioned أول ما بلشنا الحلقة إنه you were saying إنه إذا مثلا غلطت بالحكي أو مانيك لابسة ميك اب your audience, your community عم بيشوفوا هالشي.
Yeah.
I think the message is 100% translated the way you want it to be translated.
I mean, at the end of the day, when you want to think about it, you as a person, even if you're not a social media figure, you're just a person that has social media. You have, I don't know, 200, 300 followers. When you pick a photo to post, will you pick the worst or the best one?
The best.
Of course.
Definitely.
Why?
Human nature.
No, it's just because there's no point.
You don't want to show the exactly. There's no point in showing the
even
other
if you're
side,
not a
يعني.
public figure, you don't care what people think, but you're not going to choose the worst photo of yourself. You're going to choose the best one.
أكيد.
You know?
Most definitely.
And it's always nice to show those imperfections. I actually have a hashtag on Instagram that's called Tamara's failed pictures or shots, Tamara's failed, something like that. And you see the photo I posted, and next to it, you see the photo taken right before, potentially, where I was moving or talking, or it just was not a good shot. Just to show people that, you know, these photos never see the day of light, but they're actually not good photos, you know?
Definitely.
But it's the truth.
أكيد.
It's just an example.
لا إيه definitely. بالعكس يعني I'm sure ما العالم كلها sees it the way like this perfect Tamara ما بعرف شو كله بيغلط آخر النهار. Some people see it like this. They have to understand this is not the case. Tamara, فيك تعطينا بركي a small background of your early life, potentially high school, university. يعني what how were you born, raised لوصلتي لوين مع تمارا هي اليوم؟
Wow. So I actually moved around a lot in my life, which is kind of crazy. And I think it actually built and made me who I am today. I moved around a lot. I was born in the US, lived there. I lived in LA a bit because I was born there. Then I moved to Washington, D.C., grew up there till about like 7 years old. Then I moved to Paris, lived there for another 4 years. Then I moved to Beirut and then was there from the age of 12 to 18. After that, I went to university in Milan to study fashion. And then after that, I moved back to Beirut for a few months, moved to London for a few months, and then moved back to Beirut. And here I am now in Dubai. So as you see, I moved around a lot, you know.
Okay.
And that was really good because it gave me a different mindset, a different way of thinking, because I was exposed to so many different cultures, you know, which I loved. And I didn't always stick to like Arabs because I'm Arab, you know. When I was in Milan, my bestest of friends were Italian. I mean, two of them were, one was French, but some of my closest friends who all came to my wedding, actually, they were all Italian people. I mean, majority. South American and so on. I had a lot of friends. But it was nice to have these different, you know, cultures to be around. And I learned a lot from it, I think.
I think it helped you يعني have this outgoing character personality and عن جد to let yourself just be out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things that play a part in who you become as a person, partially where you live. Another thing that I believe in is like siblings, and if you have siblings and what's the order of the siblings. It's something I've really been into lately, which is very weird. It's a topic that I don't really want to talk about because it's really long and I get excited about it.
What's your order? What's your number?
So I'm the eldest of 4.
You're the eldest of 4.
Yes, and I think this also played a huge part in what made me today. You know, I had a lot of responsibilities and
قد ايه أكبر من the second?
So me and my youngest, there's actually 10 years between me
Ben and the youngest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's me and my sister. We're just 1 year apart.
1 year
and
apart.
And then my third brother, he is 7 years apart from me. So it's me and my sister.
Is your younger sister هيك more shy than you أروق منك?
Yes, much more.
Yeah, okay.
Much more.
نفس الشيء نحن ففي أنا وخيي الكبير. Okay. دايما وفرق شي سنة ونص. دايما I feel like there's one that's gonna be more outgoing than the other, especially إذا قريب عمرهم.
Yes.
فأنا هيك نفس الشيء.
Yeah, me and my sister are very different also.
أنا وخيي كمان.
There's actually an article that I read and it explains to you the description of every sibling from 1 to 4. And then usually they fall, like you can really relate to them. If you're number 2, you'll understand and relate to all the criteria of number 2 and so on. But anyways, whatever. This is just whatever built me. So I think it's the way I was, raised in different countries and the fact that I was the eldest of 4.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Tamara, usually when someone becomes a public figure, it can happen in 2 ways. First one is when someone is really passionate to share their experiences with people and they want to pursue this career. And the other option might happen by mistake, like a post that goes viral. Which one are you? Which route did you take?
I think it definitely happened by mistake. I mean, I think yes and no. Let's
Mix
put
of
it that
both.
way. So I think social media and Instagram started booming in about 2012 or 12, I believe it was. It was the year I graduated school, actually. I remember this very well. And that's first summer of my graduation. I remember like people started posting on Instagram and a friend of mine was like, Yalla, let's take a picture of this ice cream and post it. I'm like, on what? She's like, on Instagram. I'm like, okay. And I remember my first post until today on Instagram is like some slushy. It's weird. It's like a blue and red slushy with frames.
Hashtag
and filters.
slushy.
Yeah. With frames and filters and everything. It's some really ugly photo. Anyways, after that, since I graduated, I had just started university. And before moving to Milan, I lived a year in Beirut where I studied fashion in Asmod. It's a fashion school in Beirut. And I was posting during that time what I was doing in university. So my projects, my outfits and things like that, just because, I don't know, I just was.
Yeah.
Because
It's fun, for fun.
Yes, it was for fun. And everyone's like, yeah, Instagram's the new thing. So I started, just posting for my own.
Sick.
Yeah, just for me, And then people started liking them and just friends in the beginning. And then there was these accounts that would pop up that were like, I don't know, street style, I don't know what. They would just repost my photos. Many of these accounts would repost my outfit of the day at the time. Repost. And there was something called like the popular page at the time. And your photo used to pop up on the popular page and you would gain a lot of followers and how do you say?
Traction.
Likes, comments, engagement.
Yeah, and people visually, like, how do you say? People would just like see you. Like,
Visibility.
Exposure and visibility. Okay. So getting on that page meant getting visibility and exposure. And that's how it started to grow. And I was like, why are people interested? Like, okay, cool. And I kept on going, just posting photos of my daily outfits.
So very naturally.
Yeah. And then I moved to Milan and kept on working in the fashion industry and studying and,
Okay. And have ever intersected with your corporate job? Have you ever had a corporate job and had to take a decision which career you wanted to pursue?
Yeah, I think right after university, I moved to London. Remember, I mentioned this. It was just a few months, but I was working as a stylist in All Saints. Okay, and that was basically, it's not really corporate, but it was like retail.
Yeah,
it was fashion, retail. But no, it wasn't for me. I liked it. I liked styling, but I wasn't into styling people. I was more into like the editorial, the magazines, the creativity, not working with people per se, as personal styling. So it wasn't my cup of tea, and I just finished my job and left. It was a part-time. But corporate per se, no. I just did a bunch of internships. It's not really like a job.
Yeah. You didn't find yourself.
No. I have too much creativity for that. Sorry.
But it's very nice.
I feel more or less the same way. I couldn't do corporate. I couldn't do corporate.
I have to like go and move and do my stuff. I can't just sit behind a desk.
But that's a very good point, because like sometimes you just saying this is really an like inspiration to anyone watching who think or who believe that they have this creativity to actually pursue what they're creative about.
It makes me so happy. Some girls, they message me and they go like, you pushed me to study fashion and to work in fashion because my family, they were against it and they were thinking it's not a job that will take you far. It's not going to make you money or whatever it is.
Exactly.
And they told me, I did it because, you pushed me to do it. And I see where you reached. I'm like, I'm not an example really to like, you need to follow what I do. No, it just gives you maybe that extra push to follow whatever dream you have. And work.
It's an extra motivation.
You always excel better at what you love. Like if I forced myself to work in the corporate world and it wasn't for me.
You wouldn't have done
my goodness.
Great.
I would probably still be doing the worst thing ever.
I think creativity كتير هلا it's getting much better, especially بالإمارات وبالArabic region. But still creativity is undervalued, I think.
Yeah,
and it's something هلا كتير عم بيكون في boost فيه يعني content creators عم يتشجعوا أكتر يفوتوا بالindustry لأن عم بيكون first of all يعني everything is around finance at the end of the day. يعني you need to support yourself, your family. فعم بيشوفوا في opportunities أكتر. عالم عم تطلب كمان fashion stylist. People is asking for more content. Thankfully, I think we're heading the right direction. And I believe in terms of content, you were also working for, I think, Lulia and Beauty Match. Working. You had like a role there.
Yeah.
There are two different TV programs. مزبوط. Lulia was YouTube.
Lulia
Beauty
was
Match
YouTube.
was
Beauty
TV.
Match was a show on NBC4.
Was a show on NBC4.
Was it NBC4? NBC. I'm not sure if it was 4.
NBC. NBC. One of them.
It was M for
NBC.
sure, but I forgot it was 4.
Yeah. So
NBC4. Yeah, it was 4.
So أول شيء كيف كانت الاكسبيرينس مع هول الاثنين و do you think هول الاثنين عطوك more exposure مثل ما قلتي and they kind of paved the road to success?
Well, first of all, Lulia and YouTube, I actually used to love doing that.
Yeah.
Because I talk a lot. As a person, as you
So you like to talk.
So I like to talk. I love to talk. I feel I have so much to say and like basically no one to talk to. I just want to talk. I have a lot to say. And on YouTube, I used to be able to do like longer videos than what I can do on Instagram. And I felt like, I don't know, I enjoyed YouTube a lot.
Yeah.
And I felt, take it, I don't know, I enjoyed it, basically. It was fun.
يلا بركي بتبلشي your own page.
Now I really
Now
don't
ما
have
في.
the time to take anything new on. I can't do anything new now.
No worries.
At least not something that was that time consuming, you know. So I actually stopped with them when I moved to Dubai.
Okay.
So we used to film when I was living in Beirut, and then when I moved here, I just couldn't continue. As for MBC4, I think that was an amazing experience in general. I love TV also. I love TV. I love talking. I love this, you know.
Yeah.
So I really, really enjoyed it. And I think if you want to say pave the road for success, I mean, I think already by the point I was at Beauty Match, I already had a good following base and I already was established. But I do think it got me a new audience, which I didn't have. So from certain countries, which I wasn't really exposed to before, I got exposed to them, which I think was great. And I think it did give me more credibility as a person in terms of my style. And I studied fashion at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to go and style someone, well, that's my job, you know, like I do it blindly.
So why did you leave at the end?
Leave where?
Beauty Match.
Beauty Match was a 5-episode thing. So it's just 5 episodes.
Okay.
And then they switch people.
Okay, so you were a participant. Okay.
Yes. So every 5 episodes, so every week they change the 3 girls that are styling the guests.
Yeah, you were styling
You know what
the
I mean?
guests.
And I was styling the guests, basically, yeah. And then the guest has to choose what she likes in terms of style.
Yeah.
You know?
شفت ابيسود هيك بعتقد في وحده لبستيها بعدين اجت اختها وما عرفت اختها. It was interesting.
Oh yeah, I remember that look.
I think she was wearing like
a khaki dress with
yes,
black. I remember that very well.
exactly.
Yeah.
تمارا نحن بس لنرجع شوي كنا عم نحكي عن authenticity وهاو انت you're very real on Instagram to your community, to your audience. So you agree with me when I tell you انه انت you go full speed on your authenticity and like you being very real.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to put your leg on the gas pedal when it comes to working with other brands, because sometimes you might have to compromise with brands and
tell
sponsors.
me about it.
Tell me about it.
Tell me about it. And I think that also comes across, you know, honestly, I think ما حدا أهبل بقى. Everyone is smart. Everyone can see right through you. And they know when something has been literally spoon-fed to me to post, they can tell. They can tell. And not only they can tell, the engagement drops. And I tell the brand, I tell the brands that work with me, I warn you and I tell you, please, let's not do this. My audience, don't, مثلا, if they ask me to do something, okay, let's say, any brand, okay, that is something that's not usually what I post. They, let's say this product, okay, they tell me, hold it like this, okay, hold it like this and talk about the product on your feed. I never do that. It's not my type of content.
Yeah, they're gonna be انه حتكون غريبة.
Exactly.
حياتها تمارا ما عملت هيك هلا ترجع تحكينا على البرودكت.
Please صدقوني خلينا ما نعمل هيك لأنه إذا هيك عملنا إنه العالم it's not going to resonate with them. You're not going to get the engagement you want and I promised. Trust me, let's not do it. بس
شي مرة اضطريتي خلص سمعتي منهم وعملتيها.
Yeah, sometimes I have to. خلص, I have a contract. I cannot.
Yeah.
You know, I try and they give me a little bit of wiggle room and I usually am able to, you know, change a bit. بس إنه at the end of the day I have to stick to the brief.
بس أنا what I'm interested in إنه sometimes هلا بشوف مثلا creators بطلوا يعملوا مثل دعايات إنه مثلا هلا بنقطش أوكي فبدي إياك تشتري مثلا هالمايك كذا. لا مثلا بيكونوا they're doing their thing بعدين فجأة بيطلع مثلا الغرض اللي بدهم to advertise بالخبرية. فإتس not like you're watching something معني بلش يحكي scroll stop هونيك وقت بيوصل engagement بفوتوها معهم بالحديث.
هيدي to the point of تمارا يعني وقتها تكون very هيك unnatural عرفتي كيف وتكون غير طبيعية غير ما يلي عادة بتعمله تمارا.
And I'm not even able to act in the video or whatever it is because ما بتطلع مني.
Exactly.
إنه أنا شخص سوبر
أنت بتحب تكوني طبيعتك.
Exactly.
وهيدا كيف الانجيجمنت عالي فلا totally understandable صراحة ومشان العالم حتشو أوكي تمارا مش مقتنعة بهالغرض. أنا إذا it's not supernatural coming out of you usually. فتوتالي اجريد على الموضوع.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the influencer scene, إذا هلا I get you a person of influence and I tell you what are like 3 factors you want to look at to derive how much she's successful. Like what definition do you have for a successful person of influence?
I think there's multiple points that fall into that. The first one is how much people trust you. So you as a public figure, when you try and advertise something or advise about a certain product, how many people will resonate with whatever you're saying or actually be influenced, if you want to say, okay? If people trust you, they'll listen to you. And for me, that is success. When I gain someone's trust, you know what I mean? And they actually believe what I say because I speak the truth, you know? ما حاجي قلن عن شيء مش مزبوط, you know? I refuse those things usually. Something I genuinely don't use or don't like. خلاص ما.
You don't work with them.
No. And I say no. Or if I'm uncomfortable, it's something that I'm not comfortable talking about, I say, I'm sorry. Like, I can't do this, you know? So I think the first thing is trust. With the people that, you know, follow this person. After that definitely comes conversion. So when you're working with a brand, at the end of the day, they're checking how much...
Numbers.
Yes.
Numbers.
At the end of the day,
you need to convert
They
them.
want to know that whatever they're doing is, you know, coming back to them in terms of conversion. So when they see this after the public figure posts, that's when you know also the trust played into the goal of conversion. So that's the second thing. And I think, what's the third one in my opinion? You know, by the way, everything I'm saying, I'm just...
Improvised.
هذا المضبوط.
You know,
هذا طبيعة
I'm not sure
تمارا.
if I can say this now, but they sent me the questions before and I didn't really read them. I was just like, just to make sure there's something not crazy. And I was like, okay, I don't want to read.
Yeah.
And then actually my manager was like, why don't you want to read the questions? I was like, I don't want to because then I'll think and overthink and prepare. I was like, I don't want that. I just want the answers to flow.
Of course.
So forgive me if I'm thinking of the third
لا
reason.
أكيد.
لا
إحنا we want
بالعكس,
the
we
thought
want it
process
natural.
to be very natural.
يعني نحن أصلاً that's the point يعني for you know the questions. Usually the manager goes through them, whoever's working, you know, with our guest. He just makes sure it's aligned. There's nothing that would make the guest uncomfortable. That's about it, you know. بس نحن اللي بدنا إياه طبيعي يعني. أصلاً إذا مش طبيعي ما بيطلع مزبوط مثل ما أنت بتقولي.
بس like a personality trait other than the business aspects of it. أنت اليوم فتحت إنستغرام وليد.
Authenticity.
Of
course.
100%
Trust authenticity.
Yeah, they come hand in hand, by the way.
أكيد.
تمارا بدي فرجيكي فيديو. Okay.
خير إن شاء الله شو هتفرجينا.
It's 7 years old. Okay, I want you to see it and tell me your feeling and reaction. Okay.
Oh, I remember this.
Oh, you remember it?
On Beirut.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I was talking about, but I remember this.
هلا بنشوف شو حتحكي. هلا they're gonna talk to you.
مش تغير شكلك يا لطيف.
Back
7 years ago, yeah.
but that's about it. But I want you يعني to see when you see this
So
video
I was
where
basically 7 years ago. So I was 20.
you were 20.
20.
20.
Yeah, أكيد بكير.
أكيد بكير. إيه لا definitely. بس
So
أنا
I'm actually
قصدي
curious what else I was saying in this interview. I
صراحة I
forgot.
didn't watch it entirely. بس I can send you the link.
Yeah, I have it on YouTube.
فبasically أنه looking back from where you were to where you became right now, what's the feeling, the first emotion you get?
I think the first thing I think about is that you don't know what can happen in a year.
Nah.
And I was talking to my sister last time, and she's like a while back, my sister, I don't know who. And I think, yeah, it was her. And she was telling me, إنه بعد سنة أكيد لا وما بعرف شو إنه whatever we were talking about. And I'm like, you don't know what happens in a year. She's like, what do you mean?
كله
I'm like,
بيتغير.
أنا in 1 year I started dating Jad, and then I got married a year later. So 2 years. In
Very
2
fast.
years I got married.
Yeah, I know
basically.
people who got married even shorter time كمان.
هلا 2 years is not short, but you still don't know what can happen in 2 years.
Yeah, definitely. A lot has changed من هلا 7 سنين يعني هون not married, no kid, no brand, still growing.
Yeah.
that's the point. يعني هيك I think يعني أنا if I would see myself maybe 7 years into the future ما بعرف man.
Still on this table.
يعني ما بعدنا
I think that's good
هون.
though. I think it's good that you don't have certain things in mind or certain, I mean, you have expectations and goals.
أكيد.
But do you have to imagine yourself a certain way? I don't think so, because you don't want to تفقس حالك if you don't
أكيد.
reach that imagination.
حط goals وحط ambitions
Yes.
وحط هيدا try your best وبعدين
Opportunities come day by day حتى مش year
100%.
by
بعدين be
100%.
grateful for whatever you receive. كل واحد عنده his own path.
100%.
take advantage.
هذا regarding your path, how's TeeJays? I love it.
Oh, thanks. it's my pride.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it عن جد. ويعني I know people who got it, especially some of my girlfriends, لأن هن أول شيء this was your line. هلأ فوتت شباب I
Yes,
think
you
a
have
month
women and
ago.
men, exactly.
Now you have men, so يلا أنا قريبا I'm gonna get it also.
Can't wait.
I love them. I love them صراحة.
wait.
يعني I saw the quality, it's amazing. Tell us, how did it, start TeeJays? ليه بلشتي وليه pajamas? How is it doing right now?
Honestly, I'm so excited we're going to talk about TeeJays. And if you thought I talked a lot before,
هلا
good luck.
قاعدين ما بيأثر السنة
No,
طويلة.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
رواق.
But yeah, TeeJays is basically a product of me knowing that I love pajamas and loving my pajamas as a teenager, and I used to have very strange attachments to my ugly pajamas, which were usually like a Shakira concert t-shirt, a Spider-Man t-shirt. I don't know where it even came from. I don't know. Like weird, ugly pieces. رايح لونهم ومخزوقين وأمي I remember تاخدهم وتكبهم وأنا أروح على الزبالة وشيلهم هيك بنتخانق عليهم كنا للتيشيرتات وللشورتات مستحيل. And I always chose those pajamas to wear at night because they were more comfortable than the new ones I would buy. The new ones I would buy were always uncomfortable for some reason. I don't know what it was. I just didn't like them. So I wanted to give people like a feeling of that worn out without giving them worn out pieces. I didn't want people to buy new stuff and put them in their drawer and keep them worn and, unworn and new until today, like mine, which I actually gave away now. But during COVID, in the beginning, we spent a lot of time at home and I was wearing these horrific pajamas. And خلاص عرفت. I was spending so much time at home and I'm like, what is this? Like, I just can't anymore. And I've been thinking for a while, I wanted to create a product that is missing. Something that we don't have a lot of, but it's something you use every single day. It's just like, it's like underwear. It's like you wear it every day, but you don't give it attention. You don't think of going to buy, well, I need pajamas. Like, it's very rare.
لأن قاعدة بالبيت والعالم ما حتشوفها.
Yeah. So are you willing to spend on pajamas? No, not really. But what if people are not, but I want to kind of change the way of thinking without thinking at the same time, والله بدي أدفع دكة. لا, it's not a break the bank kind of pajama. It's a very affordable type of pajama. Like, the thing about pajamas, they last you a while, especially when it's good quality, which for me is very, how do you say, core value of the brand, where you get value for money, that and a lot of other things, يعني. So yes, I wanted to create a product that people need, that there's a gap in the market, and something affordable and yeah.
Well, how is it going هلا? Going well?
I think I'm actually
قد ايه صار قد ايه صار لأن operation?
Exactly. So we've been launched like 6 months now. So I think we're really on the new side still. We haven't even been, since June 1st is the day we launched.
Okay.
So 7 months now.
إن شاء الله on a good track.
Yeah, I think it's going well. I have a lot of future plans and ambitions, and I think I'm trying to bite off more than I can chew. And I think that's the expression that you say.
Yes, it is.
And I'm trying to go a bit crazy, and my husband like, ما صار لك سنة and I'm like, but I want to do this and I want to do this, and I'm just get so excited, about it, even though it's very, very time consuming.
أكيد. It's a very competitive
and
industry.
I'm almost a one-man show, I do have a team in a warehouse and someone for like graphics and social media and stuff, but
you're handling everything.
Basically, I'm like, I do everything.
Yeah.
Well, I don't sew. I have a factory. I have a factory, but I'm almost a one-man show.
طب what would you say is عن جد the biggest challenge you faced وقت عم تفتح البزنس؟ شو أكتر شيء هيك you felt brought you down Did you ever feel like giving up?
Listen, I think my husband helped a lot in terms of like moral support and, you know, pushing me. بقلي روقي when I want to go big because he's like, let's go slow and steady. And he's my business partner basically. بس إنه we kind of, you know, دايما نستشير بعض وهيك. And he always like tries to give me more of the business perspective of things, which I don't have. I never studied business, you know. But all the experience I had working in the different things I did, I learned a lot of knowledge in this field. So I don't know, like basic stuff. بس كل هول الاشياء ساعدوا. I did fashion design, I did styling, so I have those two covered. And then I worked in a showroom in wholesale, so I know how to work wholesale. I've worked with line sheets and lookbooks, so I know how to do that as well. I've worked in retail stores, so I know how retail works. You know, so all of these I brought all together to build the brand. All the knowledge and all the experience I did in the past helped me build the brand today, except for the business side, which I never had.
But I think like that's very, very good that you're mentioning this, because I feel like whenever you want to go into a business with a person, you should find someone who adds value. So for your example, your husband is giving you the business side of things.
Yes.
And you're giving him things he might not be the biggest expert on.
No,
so you complement each other.
Yeah.
And that's
I mean, he has a
amazing.
full-time job. He does this as a side
business partner. Yeah.
بس Tamara, being يعني a public figure also helps, right? يعني it at least in terms of sales.
Oh my goodness. And I think two things, okay? First of all, I think today, anyone that's a public figure, just because they're a public figure and don't have a business, should get up and start a business. Because one day, all of this is going to go away and you have nothing, basically. That's the way I think about it.
Yeah.
So I think it's important for someone who already has a following or whatever it is to do something. You have such a massive reach that people pay for to get. People pay you to get this reach. Do it for free for yourself. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. Even if it's to bring good for someone else. Even if you're doing volunteer work, do it. Doesn't need to make money out of it. I mean, do like even volunteer work. Do it. You know?
Do something for the, you know, greater good.
Volunteer
تساعد
on
العالم
social, I mean,
exactly.
you know, like things like that. Use the platform, you know, and the audience you have to or build a business or do something about it, you know?
Definitely.
Because I don't know, I think you cannot just rely on, sorry, and no, look at Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't use it anymore. I still have it, but I don't use it.
No one uses it. Exactly. كل
But we
شيء
used to
كل
use it
شيء
every
مع
single day.
everything with time changes.
What if Instagram just goes poof one day?
It could.
What if
it's very
everything is possible?
It really could. It really
So-
could.
I know, yeah, I built a name, but I'm a nobody if it just goes poof.
Exactly. So you need to have something that will be able to sustain it. وانت كمان انه
Exactly.
there's a reason why you became who you are today. You worked hard. You got this place, your position right now. You're leveraging what you have, which is I think very مثل ما
And I'm
قلتي.
very grateful for it.
أكيد
like,
you are.
Don't get me
بس-
wrong, يعني.
بس كمان it's
But
something
I think
it's
it was
something
a
to look
smart,
up to.
Yeah,
It's something
I
to
think
look
it was
up
a
to
smart
كمان.
decision. Oh, sorry.
No worries.
No worries at all.
Yeah.
Tamara, كلنا for example بهالأوضة مثلا, we pass through times where we feel challenged, we feel vulnerable, we're put in vulnerable situations. But sometimes when you're a public figure, the probability of being in a vulnerable situation or being challenged increases and increases heavily. Can you speak about the time where you were put in a vulnerable situation or was challenged by a certain situation?
Yeah, I think I have a few. Sometimes I'm misunderstood, you know? So sometimes I might say something that might be, I don't know, taken the wrong way by whoever it is, you know? It can be, let me think. Okay, I'll give an example, okay? لما صار, I forgot if it was انفجار لبنان ولا كان أول at some point in الثورة بعد ما بلشت الثورة قبل الانفجار بعد الثورة at some point I was pregnant and no one knew about it on social media and I was just in the beginning okay and I was talking about Saura and how I supported it and everything and people were like attacking me like if you're with it and why aren't you going to the muzaharat, why aren't you going to Martyr Square, why like what are you doing? And I was in Dubai but at the time I couldn't travel because I was in the part of my pregnancy.
You can't leave.
It wasn't safe for me, you know, to do what I was doing and be so active. And I was scared. خفت. So that's what no one knew at the time. But I was attacked for something that they misunderstood. You know, that's just an example. There's other stuff. بس إنه أمرار I get misunderstood and you know it's taken the wrong way, or I'm sure there's many others, but I can't just think about it right now.
Yeah, but you always like find a way to handle it, so you can always be like mentally
How did
strong.
you handle the situation وقت عالم ما كنت عم تفهم عليك did you tell them you're pregnant or
no? I said I had my reasons. That's what I answered at the time. Yeah. And I wasn't ready to share that news or anything. And I think there's a lot of situations where things like this happen, and I have a problem where if I get something like negative, or I tend to answer, which is like the worst thing you could ever do. I tend to answer because خلاص بعصب, you know, like I just want to explain myself. Then I've realized I don't need to explain myself. Like, not because I'm a public figure, people can allow themselves to say what they want. It's just not fair. I'm a human. I'm a person. You know, if you knew me, you'd never tell me that.
Super agreed.
You know?
And was there like one incident where you decided to stop replying on these negative comments that happened?
I think I got really annoyed once at someone, and I got so frustrated. I forgot really what it was, but I remember at the time feeling very, very annoyed. And I just decided like, this person is not like worth the time of day to argue with, and it's just someone that's bored and, you know,
they're
chilling
not.
behind their phone or whatever it is.
No. Regarding hate messages, I know many guests came on our podcast and they told us what their view on it is, most of them at least, was ignore it. Ignore the hate messages. Do not put your energy, ignore the negative noise. I know. وبعدين كذا مرة أنا وماهر بنقول أنه whoever puts out hate عن جد, they hate themselves in a way or another.
It's a reflection of how you feel.
There's a complex. There's something wrong.
Exactly. فأنه
or they're insecure. I don't know what it is.
Exactly. بعدين أنا my dad has an amazing saying, ما جادلت جاهلا إلا وغلبني. إذا بدك نجيبها ماشي حال, we can get it. It's fine. I'll cover. Don't worry about it. فأنه the point is أنه there's some people that are just مثل ما قلتي not worth it. But is there a moment or an instant where one of your followers عن جد impacted you, and it can be positive or negative اللي بدك إياه يعني, بس عن جد impacted you?
There's two. There's one negative and one positive.
So
the negative one really, really hurt me. And this person I blocked. And after that, like some sister or some cousin messaged me like, why did you block her? And the message was so mean. It was something like, why is your baby so fat? Like one day he'll die of being fat or something like that. Like it was a horrific message. أنا ماشي يعني إنه كان ابني عمره شي 6 أشهر. He was a baby يعني. وقتها كتير اتضايقت. Like it was not something you say to someone. You don't say this. And plus my baby's not fat. He was never fat.
He's
actually underweight.
Keanu's the cutest.
Thank you. Sorry. So yeah, this really, a message that I loved, which I get a lot actually, which is what I mentioned before. Girls tell me that I push them to follow their dream in their career. You know, and I get these a lot, and it makes me so happy because they tell me, I opened my business because of you. I followed my career path because of you. I decided to open this shop because of you. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just, if you could see my face on this mic, you know, really.
ما في شيء أحلى بالحياة من أنه تساعدي حدا تاني.
Of course.
أحلى شيء.
لو شو ما كان. Honestly, I don't usually share it because إنه لما you do something good, you don't talk about it. خلاص, you do something good, it's for yourself. بينك وبين حالك, even if it's a donation or whatever it is. لما الواحد بيعمل خير, you don't talk about it. And it's the same. If you help someone, I'm not going to go on social media go like, by the way, it made me so happy. I got a message today. Why? Why share this? You know? Like now I'm telling you because you're asking me, but I wouldn't talk about it if you know.
لا أكيد بالعكس يعني.
Yes, of course I'm proud.
واحد عم بيعمل شيء منيح. It's between him وخلص and the other person you helped out and you're helping out مشان انه to help him out مش لفرج العالم وكذا انه والله انا ساعدت. تمارا حكيتي هيك عن سيناريو زعجوك خصهم بسوشيال ميديا وهيك، بس في شي سيناريو برات السوشيال ميديا بالبيرسونال لايف تاعيتك أثرت عليك it really brought you down, potentially put you in a state of anxiousness, depression, and have you gone through some kind of experience like this, or it would never reach that extent?
No, never, alhamdulillah, reached the point of like depression. But I do have like some load, you know.
Yeah.
I do have a load that I carry a lot of the time, which does put, you know, خلاص أمرار خلاص يعني
خلاص إنه بتتعب بتهلك نفسياً.
I said this, and that's why when that happens, I take a step back from social media and I take my time for me. And when I feel like it, I'll go back to social media. But when I'm off it, when I'm not feeling like myself, I do take a step back and take my time for me. And I'm just a normal person that doesn't need to share her life or film, or I literally forget my phone on the table or whatever. But yeah, I do carry like some kind of
load.
Yeah, like as I said, I'm like شو بيقولوا I'm the eldest of 4, which again means like a lot.
But sad,
you know,
and you like to help, you like to see all your siblings doing great. Definitely. أكيد كله بيحمل تقل بالآخر. It's totally understandable.
And I'm like I'm like a child of a divorced family, so like, you know, what I have on my shoulders. So
yeah. But you should always, يعني in my opinion,
and I'm proud that, you know,
أكيد you're proud. You should try to always let them out. يعني بعرف there's a load, but it's important, you know, to let out some of that load لتكون تقدر ترتاح. You know, keeping everything in sometimes is
no,
bad.
for sure.
وهيدا ليه it's understandable how you deviate from social media بعد اوقات تروي. وهيدا العالم اللي عن جد ما بتشوفه. يعني هلا يعني you're saying there's a load. People I know they don't know that, you know. Yes,
they know I'm tired.
Yes, they know you share some stuff, but they don't know the depth of it.
Yeah.
You don't know how you're trying to support your siblings. You don't know how you're trying to manage some chaotic.
To like mentally, you know, support them. يعني you know, like I make sure everything's always okay with them, which my parents do, of course.
أكيد mentally و emotionally.
بس أنا as the eldest, I always feel like a different relationship with them.
أختهم الكبيرة.
Yeah.
You know. ودايما في هيدا I think the misconception no, people tend to forget that these public figures are actually normal people and they have a normal life. It's not all what's shown on social media, whether like 100%. If we go back to the negative hate and comments. Tamara, you said sometimes you like to take a step back and look at things differently, maybe تاخدي نفس تشوفي شو عم بيصير بس هيك تجربي تروي حالك. Do you have regrets in life that you look back to وتقولي إنه يا ريت عملت things maybe potentially differently?
So there's one thing that I wish I did and I never did, but maybe had I done it, I wouldn't be where I am today. But one thing I've always wanted to do was live and move to New York for a while to work. Even if it was 6 months, 3 months, I wish I did that. But I don't regret it, because had I done that, maybe I wouldn't be where I am today. You know?
When were
I wanted
you
to do
potentially
this,
able to do that?
I wanted to do this after I graduated from university.
It's before you met Jad?
That's exactly when I met Jad. So I wasn't ready. He lived in Saudi at the time, and I wasn't ready to just go all the way to New York when I just met a guy I really liked, you know. And I just didn't think about it at the time, but كان جعبالي, and that's something I've always wanted to do. But no, do I regret it? No, because this is the life and the path that gave me what I have today, and I'm grateful for that. But this was something I wanted to do.
ولين New York?
I don't know. I have a weird feeling.
كله عنده هالweird feeling لNew York.
I don't know. I really don't. Like, it's not LA. No, it's New York.
New York.
I don't know. Even when I was in university, I would literally fly from Milan for like 4 days to New York and come.
صراحة I haven't been.
I've done it 3
I
times
haven't
when I
been.
was in Milan.
One of my bestest friends سكن بنيويورك لشي 8 أشهر كمان حابة انغرم فيها يعني شو
I don't
فيها
know, it's
نيويورك.
not for everyone, but
أنا my situation is that I love Dubai.
yeah,
كثير I love Dubai. أنه في كذا حدا بسأله أو بسألها obviously أنه بدكم تضلكم بدبي. لا بدنا بعد كم لوين بدكم تروحوا بعد كم سنة. You know, like تروحوا على لندن باريس. I know everything I feel is so different.
yeah.
Like here بدبي أنا بقول له أنا باقي بدبي. ما يعني عرفتي unless something really changes. I love
It's
this.
good that you like Dubai.
I love
Dubai's,
Dubai. I think maybe كمان أنا لأنه هلا كلنا جايين من لبنان بس هلا أنا what I see in Lebanon أنه there's so many things that are not provided to you in Lebanon that you have them here.
Of course.
There's أول شيء the most basic and fundamental stuff طرقات كهرباء مي وما بعرف شو هول أبيخ قصص عرفتي كيف و lots of business opportunities, lots of growth.
100%.
وأنا دبي I consider it my second home بصراحة يعني لأن I ما بعرف if I will.
It's like they say, you know, أيام زمان بيحكوا the American dream. Now it's like you come to Dubai and you can dream and really reach what you want. In terms
Yes.
That's what you were saying about the land of opportunity.
Exactly.
I think it is.
I'm American by the way يعني فيني روح على أمريكا وعيش هونيك بس.
But you chose to come.
Exactly.
I
one of the reasons كنت عم بقول لك I think why Walid really loves Dubai هو لأنه you have this mindset إنه Dubai is the land of opportunity, land of growth, land of businesses. بس Walid, some people don't think this way. Some people think إنه أوكي إذا بروح على دبي أو إذا بروح على
You need to make it happen.
أو إذا بروح على فرنسا إذا أنا I'm still doing that job that's imposed on me لو وين ما كنت بالعالم.
If you're in corporate.
حضل نفس الشيء.
حضل corporate.
بس إذا
I can
أنت
work
your
here
vision كتير كبير, your vision is based on the connections you will make, on the business ideas that are on the table. Of course, you're gonna love Dubai.
Even if you're in corporate, you can grow in corporate.
Yes.
So whatever it is.
But there's lots of opportunity. يعني, for example, نحن we're doing our own thing. There's another business I'm working on other than higher take. You're doing TeeJays. يعني ما بتشوف my friend is opening something. فما بتشوف غير عالم عم بيحاولوا يشتغلوا عم بيعملوا شيء تاني شيء ثالث. أنه كدول عربية يعني الله يقوي كل الدول العربية. أنا I love to see the Arabs prosper. But you see Dubai as like really rising. كمان KSA. الرياض is.
I agree. They both are.
بس بعد اللايف ستايل I think بعدها مش مثل هون. عرفتي if you go and live in رياض specifically رياض يعني عم بحكي. بس it's getting there I believe.
But you know what's nice in Dubai comparing though to there? It's really a melting pot of so many different expats and cultures, which I love. I love this. Hala, the question is, do you actually mingle with all these different or do you not?
I'm very outgoing.
Not necessarily. Your friends are all probably Lebanese, but no, mine are not per se. But no, it's still nice to have this international community in Dubai, which I love.
أكيد.
As you noticed, I love this international.
أكيد رحت العالم كله.
No, it explains 100%. كنت جاي أقول إنه أنت you've toured the world إنه in a way فإنه لما تيجي لهون خلص إنه ما عندك هيدا fixed mindset إنه لا I need to be surrounded by Lebanese.
100%. But I do feel that Arab root here. Even though it's so international, I still feel it.
Yeah.
And it's so close to home.
في Arab root أكيد يعني.
And it's so close to home, so I feel it's like يلا.
Exactly. فيك تسافر دايما. Exactly. Tamara, I think I know the answer to the question, but maybe you can answer and elaborate on it a bit.
Go for it.
What's the most important thing for you in life?
What's the most important thing? My family.
Yeah. That was the answer, right?
Of course.
But like elaborate a bit more يعني أنه
I told you before about purpose.
Yeah.
And that's all comes hand in hand, and so does success. If you're successful, it's because you have a purpose. Your purpose is for what? For your family.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah. And how's it like being a mom?
It's amazing.
Yeah?
It really
you love
is.
it?
It really is. It brought a side to me that I didn't know I had, which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
كتير مهضومين انتو.
It changed me to the better. Not really, actually. When I still hang out with my single friends, the girls, they're like, oh, you're the same. Which is great. And that's exactly what I want. I don't want to be that kind of mom that, you know, my friends call me, yalla, let's go out. And I'm like, oh, I'm too tired. No, I'm never going to be like that. At least not now. Now, like, they call me, I'm like, yalla. وإذا شيء أنا I hype them.
Exactly.
You know?
مش أنه بتخفف ظهراتك.
No, not really. I mean, during the week, I think this is a Dubai thing anyways. Like Monday to Friday, it's more chill.
بس اصلا
You know,
Monday to
you
Friday
don't-
حتى انا كلنا
Yeah,
شغل.
it's
يعني
chill. It's not about me as
مش مثل لبنان كل يوم.
exactly. Here, Monday to Friday, it's more chill.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're exhausted from work. You just want to relax at home, Netflix, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the weekend, you enjoy your weekend, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it definitely brought the best of me.
Yeah. يلا هلا في the next one كمان soon.
Later, when I'm ready. When I'm ready.
لا أكيد we're hoping to إن شاء الله تكون بنت تاني واحدة.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah, you have any names in mind for a girl?
I can't share.
Can't share.
حدا تاني بياخدها.
Yeah, exactly.
خلص you'll tell me privately. أنا كمان بقول لك. Okay.
Tamara, شوي إذا we want to shift gear and talk about love. بدي شوف how do you define love and how did you translate your definition of love into your current relationship?
Wow. So there are different languages of love, and I think that's the most important thing. Today, as I said, different languages. So the way you and your partner love each other, you have a way to communicate. Everyone is different. There are different ones such as words of endearment, so using words. There's another one where it's physical contact. There's other people that do it with gifting. Some people do it with, there's different ways by concern. So our language of love is two things. The first one is the attention, so concern. So always asking each other about our work and what we're doing and how we're feeling and all these things, And I think that's the way we communicate about it. It's not by specifically looking at each other and going, I love you, I love you. We don't have to do that every single day. We do it, but you don't need to say that when all the other things that you do throughout your day is to show this person that you love them,
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. And I think a relationship is based on understanding each other's language of love. In addition to, of course, communication and understanding.
Yeah.
It evolves, it really evolves. And after you get married versus dating, your relationship revolves. You also love someone and I'm comfortable with someone when you're able to both sit on a couch without any TV.
Sure.
And not talk specifically. Not talk. You could be sitting because you're doing something on your phone or whatever, and not feel like you need to...
Awkward.
You don't need to feel awkward. You need to feel like it's comfortable, because at the end of the day, if you're living with this person or married to this person, you can't talk 24 hours together.
So.
You need to be able to have that silence sometimes. You need silence in your head. You need it. Sometimes you need to think, and you can't have someone talking in the background. So that awkward silence should basically not be silence.
Yeah. Should be طريقة إنه مرتاحين سوا. طريقة لتفرق إنه
it's not
مرتاحين
awkward.
سوا.
It's silence.
And how did you find love with Jad? How did it
How
start?
did we meet?
How did you meet? How did
Let's listen to the story.
Ooh, no, this is a really long story, but basically...
It always starts with basically.
I'll just slash it all down. So basically, Jad is my dad's friend. It's not a creep. It's not weird. It's not anything weird. So my dad was not married at the time, so he was single. And he used to go out with single guys. My dad was a single guy. What is he going to do? Go out with married couples? No, he's going to go out alone. مع الشباب. So عم بيظهر مع الشباب منهم جاد. اوكي وما بعرف مرة أنا كنت كتير أسهر مع بي، بعدني بسهر معه، بس كنت أسهر معه كتير أنا وأختي. سو مثلا يكون بشي سهرة يدق لنا تعالوا نروح أنا وأختي. أوكي and شفته مرة لجاد كان على الطاولة هنيك مع بي وهيك basically لقيته حلو بس ما قلت شي. he's a good looking guy, like I didn't really say anything of it. And then there was a dinner once at our house and he was there with his brother and my dad's inviting his friends. عادي. And by the way, just to point out, my dad and Jad are not the same age. Not at all. Jad is still in his 30s. My dad is in his 50s.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
to point that out.
Perfect.
It's not like a weird, I'm not married to an oldie or anything, okay?
Yeah.
I never mentioned that in the beginning of the story. So yeah, basically he was at the dinner and we just Snapchat added each other on Instagram.
Snapchat? No, I love it. At the time there was Snapchat.
Yeah. It was the more casual way of saying like, give me your number,
Your dad was fine with it. جاب حدا
So
عم بيحكي
he
بنته.
kind of saw it. He saw it from afar. But once we started dating, we kind of did it behind his back. My dad didn't really know about it in the beginning. And then one day, he saw us like kind of, holding hands or whatever it was. Yeah, we were talking like very closely to each other. Intimately talking. And then after Jad left, I remember my dad asked me, he's like, "Sho, انتو اتنين?" I'm like, yeah, we're kind of dating. He's like, oh.
And he was chill about it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, he trusts the guy.
Exactly.
Like, he knows the guy.
Yeah.
You know, and he wouldn't be friends with him if he wasn't a good guy.
Exactly.
You know?
لا إيه أكيد.
So أكيد it was a bit awkward in the beginning. But مش الحال. It was nice because we got to skip the part where you got to meet the father and, it was nice. We got to skip that. I think my dad knows more about Jad than I know about him. Like,
حتى لهلا كمان.
I think he knows stories and he has some experiences with him. They traveled together and did those stuff. So I think they know like stuff about each other that I don't really know. Boys.
خليه هالقصص يضلوا مستورين ما بيأثر.
خليها بيناتهم.
Exactly.
تمارا هلا إذا بكرة بدقوا لك بيقولوا لك you have to choose 3 people to have dinner with, either dead or alive. Who would you choose to have dinner with?
Oh man, I hate these questions.
بس في واحدة
عن جد
نحن ما بنكترهم لأن سائلين بس شخصين 3 dead or alive عبالك تتعشى مع فين يكونوا أموات.
كان لازم أقريها هيدا
كان لازم تقرأ
كان لازم أقرأ وفكر لا كبس كتير هاي
كتير كبس it could be someone close relative that potentially you want to know more. Think about it.
Really? I don't know. Give me some time. Maybe I'll think about
we'll
it.
get back to it.
Or I'll just WhatsApp them to you when I'm home and then you can mention it in next time's podcast.
من قلهم by the way تمارا قالت
No, maybe by the end I'll think about
ما
something.
مشكل إذا حدا طلع بالك you can say it. And another question is what is one of your deepest fears؟ أنه شو بتخافي من شيء معقول يصير ما صار الموت.
Oh my god.
تخافي من الموت.
مش من حالة من الناس اللي بحبها
اللي بتحبيها.
حتى الناس اللي ما كتير قراب عليهم بصير أنا مثلا شخص ما بعرف أتصرف لما شخص مريض أو عم بيموت أو
صار شيء معك regarding this?
In general, I mean, yes, I did have close people that passed away, one of which is my uncle. Very sudden passing.
الله يرحمه.
بس in general ما بعرف أتصرف. مثلا حتى هو when he passed away I didn't cry in the beginning. It took me some time. It took me like a few days. Imagine. Not because I didn't feel, I just don't know how to deal. I feel like I'm very emotional for stupid things. مثلا بحضر ما بعرف America's Next Top Model وهول الطحنك سيريز لما حدا بيظهر من الشو الكومبيتيشن بلش ابكي هيك قصص ببكي على هبل بس when it comes to like real stuff like this ما بعرف شو بيصير فيه.
You become
I don't know how to act. يعني I have like an awkward smile مثلا إذا someone tells me bad news I smile. It's like a like ما بعرف it's an anxious smile an anxious laugh and I don't وأنا هيك and I don't mean to do it. I just don't know how to اتصرف and I think a lot of people are like that. It's not
لا
just
أكيد
I'm not
It's
saying
common.
something that's
لا
crazy.
Out of the blue.
very normal. Very normal. Were you close to your uncle?
Yeah, I mean I was he was really young also. So I think
فmaybe من ورا هالشي يعني هلا هيك
maybe because I think the first person that was the closest to me that passed away was my grandfather. And I remember a specific moment when he did pass and I think until today he has a huge impact on me. Huge. Even though I was young, maybe I was 16 when he passed away. But still كتير أثر علي كتير. And I remember a certain scene when he did تعرف وقت بيمرقوا الكاسكت قدام البيت عادة بالسيارة. I remember that moment very well and I remember running to the car and just crying and that was the first time I cried at that moment. And I think maybe since then I've been a bit, I don't know how ما بعرف اتصرف عم بالله ما بعرف أنا شخص ما بعرف اتصرف
بهالوضع.
Yeah.
لا listen خاصة بقصة الموت
And there's a lot of people like that.
خاصة حتى لو no one's like that كل واحد بيحق له يتصرف كيف ما هو وخاصة بموضوع الموت it's such a complex
كتير بخاف أنا.
and الله يرحم أمواتك ويطول بعمر كل أحبائك
هلا هيدي الحياة at the end of the day
كله بيخلص
this is the circle
كله
of life
بيخلص.
هيدا المكتوب you know so it's
أكيد.
not about that it's just you know
definitely
I don't want to have to deal
لا أكيد
seriously بعيد ألف شر يعني
بعيد ألف شر عن كل أحبائك. Tamara, what's potentially one best advice you can give or sorry what's one best advice you were given حدا نصحك شيء
a lot I mean there's a bunch of stuff that I pick and chose from you know my grandfather used to tell me things my dad my mom I really like always took the best out of everyone that would give me advice like imagine when I was like 6 years old كان جدي مثلا بده يعطيني مبلغ هيك صغير ما بعرف شي $50 $1 whatever it is ويقول لي انه what do you want to do with it so يعلمني what investment is what is the value of money how to spend money how to count money كل شيء يعلمني هيك قصص وانا ما افهم اقول له I want to buy a building شو building $1000 يعني or whatever it is you know things like this
yeah of course
so I think he always also maybe wouldn't ما بعرف I don't know everything
but that's good advice
I think my mom was the one who told me to follow my dream in terms of my career and I think I remember that very well because she always says that she never did because she got married young she had kids in university she never finished university and I think she wanted to make sure that we did that you know so she always pushed me like if you want to work in fashion you want to study fashion do it you know and my dad always supported me on that as well even though everyone like people around me were surprised like why don't you work in the family business like why do you want to work in fashion and I'm like I can't work in something that I don't love
there's something you need to fill
there's things like this you know
Tamara شي مرة حدا عطيكي like a bad advice and you potentially listened to it or you didn't
I don't know bad advice I mean I most probably did get bad advice
obviously yeah definitely
of course I did
yeah but anyway you pick what you want to memorize and apply and that's what you hold dear with you مثل ما قلتي عن جدك ومثل ما قلتي عن أمك follow your dream that's the most important thing holding on to the good advice
exactly
yeah you see negative stuff I tend to just like
طلعيهم
yeah
لا على أكيد
exactly
وكرمال هلا نرجع شوي للسوشيال ميديا اندستري as Tamara where do you see it evolving in 5 years and بعد 5 سنين وين بتحسي
as I told you never know
you never know don't have like a bold prediction or something
I don't know I think it's a bit shifting there's also like TikTok that's like booming at the moment which I really don't have time for I try my best بس عن جد
انت الريلز بتحطيهم على انستغرام حطيهم
TikTok.
I know but that's not good you're basically like mirroring
like
your
it's
content
different
it's different audience it is a very different
I mean
audience
I know TikTok is great بس عن جد ما عندي وقت to create more content for a
Tailored
different platform
TikTok.
I'm barely managing creating content for one
صراحة it's better أنا in my opinion like focus on what you have build them grow them instead of having something else losing concentration on what you have
everyone's like Tamara like even my managers they're like Tamara the TikTok is booming we're getting a lot of campaigns no يلا نزلي وpost be active I'm like I can't عن جد I can't
أكيد لا handle what you
so
can
yes the future is untold I think in terms of social media but a lot of people think it's like it was a topic I was actually doing for an interview before and they were like do you think social media and TikTok and things like that are like trend setting certain things for the future in terms of trends
do they make trends يعني
basically انت عندك كل challenges for example or a certain bag or a certain style of dressing كل هول they're trends that appear
from social media
أكيد
social media أكبر trend that's what where trends all trends come from
versus the old school stuff
طب you say you don't know or you're not sure about the social media industry in 5 years but are you sure about a collaboration or a project you're working on would you like to share with us something you're excited to look forward to
I mean I do have a lot in the pipeline coming for TeeJays which I think is really great in terms of expansion. Well, I can say it actually.
Say
It's
it,
not
go
bad.
ahead.
We plan to work on kids wear.
Nice.
Which is the next step, inshallah, for the brand. Loungewear and different things, and not your typical loungewear, like a different kind of loungewear.
And you're doing it on your own, Kullo, yeah?
I mean, all of these things were I'm working on relatively.
Yeah, you have partners that are helping you.
Relatively, yeah. And TeeJays is recently at Galerie Lafayette, which I think is amazing.
Okay.
Yes,
Dubai Mall.
yes,
That's like the
that's
newest and
fantastic.
biggest,
Galerie Lafayette
yeah.
being there is
I
صراحة
think that's
an
great.
achievement لحالها.
Exactly.
It's a milestone لهذا.
Yes, so I think that's like the newest thing that happened with TeeJays, and I'm really happy about that. وإنشالله to many more يعني.
إن شاء الله.
طيب هيدا
Yeah.
بنسمعه.
Yeah, inshallah to many more. I'm very
أكيد.
excited for what the future holds.
تامارا إذا بدك تعطي advice لحيلا حدا إنه who wants potentially to be a public figure or who wants to open up a business because that's what you do or wants to follow their dreams in fashion, what's one advice that you would give them?
I mean, the first thing I would say is don't do it. No, I'm just
Don't do it.
No, I'm just kidding.
خلاص
No,
وقفوا.
I'm joking. It comes with a lot of responsibility. So people think, no, oh, you're just on social media, blah, blah, blah. It's not really a job, but it is a job. It is a job.
أكيد it is.
It
Content
really-
creator عن جد.
It really is a job. So, but unfortunately, when I meet people and they ask me what you do, I never say I'm on social media. If they know, they know.
They know.
If they don't know, I'm not going to say it. I usually tell them I have my own brand. And then they
Which you
discover
do.
Which you
I
do.
do.
It's
I'm not lying. I
entrepreneurship.
say I'm a stylist and I have my own brand.
Yeah.
That's my answer. If they figure out that I have a lot of followers and I'm a blogger, awesome. If they don't know,
They don't know.
they don't know. And that's how I am. I don't like to talk about it. I don't like to brag about it because I feel also sometimes like you're just put in like a certain influencer bubble, which I absolutely hate and I don't like it. There's like, how do you say, cliches and اشياء بيطلعوا عن الانفلونسرز وكلهم نفس الشيء.
Stereotype معين.
Stereotypes. And I hate it. That's the
Stereotypes.
word I was looking for. And I don't like it. And I don't want to be
Yeah.
part of that.
لا completely understandable.
So my advice would potentially be, it's hard, don't think it's easy. It's not the best time to start because those who have made it and now it's a bit too late to start in my opinion, in terms of like personal, unless you're coming up with something different.
Different
Not
style.
not your usual day-to-day outfits and makeup. Give something new to the people. Try and come up with something different, a different approach to things. And when you do that and you differentiate yourself from the rest of the people on social media, then you will do well.
Have your own identity.
Not just identity, try and give something different
Something
than just
new.
sharing your life.
Yeah. Definitely.
Give something else.
Tamara, amazing. بعد عنا segment. Okay, it's a quiz segment. حنسألك
Cool.
a quiz segment. يعني we enjoyed the conversation so much. دائما آخر
Such a
شيء
I
good
talk too
conversation.
much?
أبدا.
شوي. لا عم بمزح.
It's okay.
بالعكس not at all. We're enjoying it a lot. بس هلا it's
قد
the
إيه صار
segment. I have no idea.
صار لنا
هلا
فترة.
بنشوف.
Sounds.
We're gonna ask you I'm gonna ask you 3 questions. Then Maher's gonna ask you some fashion questions related to the fashion industry. And it's more general knowledge.
Okay, cool.
Okay. The first question is, what is the largest ocean in the world?
Atlantic?
Pacific. Pacific, it's fine. What is the highest mountain in the world?
So I know this question actually. I've done.
I can give you multiple choice. Okay?
Okay.
I can give you multiple
Yeah.
choice. اوف كيف بدي اقرا هيدي؟
There's
Ma-
Everest, Machu
ليك شو
Picchu.
لازم أقرأ؟
There's Mount Everest, there's Mount Kilimanjaro,
Kilimanjaro.
Mount Denali, and Mount Akugawa.
Kilimanjaro.
Everest.
Everest.
You're close.
على هون بدك.
هلا هون it's more your industry.
هون خلينا نشوف. أنا عادة دايما على
لا
وجهي.
ما هو تعال بأسئلة دخيلة تعطني غير اشياء.
يلا.
هول بالفاشن.
Okay.
It's more
Come up
fashion.
with more general
Come up with more?
general knowledge.
إلا نحن بدنا نشكل هيك نشوف.
نشكل.
خلينا نشوف هلا بالفاشن.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. What is the biggest cosmetic company in the world?
As a brand, like L'Oreal and stuff
Yes.
like that.
Exactly.
Yes. كهن L'Oreal owns
L'Oreal.
many.
صح.
L'Oreal.
شايفة
bravo.
كيف؟
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Very
Amazing. What fashion brand is famous for its red soles on its shoes?
Louboutin.
You see, she knows her industry. That's her stuff.
What okay, هذا the last question. What luxury fashion brand is famous for its iconic fragrance? Number 5 and it's
Yes. Easy.
Come on, ask me more.
يعني لا نحن جربنا هيك
قولي
to mix and match.
بدي
They're
كان
very
حاول
easy fashion questions يعني.
كان لازم نكون اسال
قولي
بالفاشن
هينين.
questions ايه
And I think if I asked you what's known for the red soul, you know it's Louboutin.
صراحة أنا ما كنت عارفين احتراماتي يعني
لا،
لحالي
عن
I didn't know
كانوا
صراحة
challenging بس prove us wrong.
لا I didn't think they were too challenging for Tamara بس like I knew maybe the general ones were a bit annoying so I don't want to be annoying بالsecond
مثلاً,
part.
when did World War II end? قصص هيك بعرفهم.
طب when did it end?
1942.
World War II 1942 ايه مزبوط ايه that's
And
good.
I know how. ask me stuff
عم
like this.
بتفكر.
تسألني على Everest وعلى geography.
But it's a general
سألني
knowledge
history.
question. عم حاول طلع على الأسئلة نحن وين كنا حاطينهم ما هون. I really want to ask her just a couple more questions. Let's see. General knowledge لأن she really wants to.
إنه بس
Okay.
ما اتبهدل يعني.
طيب بس هول سائلين. Okay. What does www stand for? دايما في W حتى
يا-
أنت
يا-
عندك
يا- يا-
www.teejayz.com.
Yeah, I know. I know the word website isn't there. No?
It's not. إيه
Web.
web is there.
Web.
Okay. أول واحدة world تاني واحدة
World Web.
world لا نص لا
World Wide Web.
100
Oh really?
Yeah, it is World Wide Web. طيب واحدة تانية. What is the rarest M&M color? You see, like they're not easy.
I mean, that's really like
Yeah.
just a guess, you know. Like I can name
That is
all
a
the
guess.
M&M colors.
That is a guess. ما حق صراحة. Brown.
I was gonna say brown, I swear.
You should have said it.
في هيدي what is the world's biggest island? هاي no way can جيب أنا مثلا.
Is it?
أعطيها options إذا بدك.
Iceland,
Yeah.
Greenland وموريشيوس.
I mean, because you said you wouldn't have got it, I'm thinking Mauritius, but it's so tiny. No.
لا.
No, it's so tiny. It's
So
green.
tiny.
Greenland.
Yeah. No, I didn't say Mauritius. I said
لا.
I.
She didn't,
I
she
thought you
didn't.
were
ما أنا ما بعرف
surprised.
عم فكر بآيلاندز أول شيء خطر على بالي.
طيب خلينا نشوف بعد
يلا فوت
واحدة.
سؤال.
Which country consumes the most chocolate per capita? Think of countries
Belgium?
that. It's close. Next one. مين بيشرب طيب بالشوكولا بعد بلجيوم؟
Switzerland?
Yes, exactly. You want more?
That's having fun.
نحن كمان كتير. Tamara, we really enjoyed
Such
it.
a pleasure.
عن جد, we hope you enjoyed it as well.